Hello, my name is Lacon Carver, and this is The Rant, a show where we start off really serious, ranting about stuff that you probably hate us for ranting about. It's petty and nonsensical. And then we eventually move on to just screaming at the camera. This is Lewis, sitting to my left over here. On today's little rant, we're going to do it. It's Chris Brown. And not like Chris Brown in this. It's just Chris Brown. The terrible... I don't even know what you... what do you even call him? At the end of my videos, when I tell people that if they don't like what we have to say, it's probably because we're right and they should kill themselves for being stupid, I'm mainly probably only talking to Chris Brown. Turned Rihanna's face. Okay, Chris Brown. Before we talk about what he did to Rihanna, even though it's in the past, I don't, whatever.
Whatever, she let go.
He started off his music career
as a little boy,
16 years old. Pretty catchy music. First time I heard him on the radio, just when I was moving from Poughkeepsie to here to where I live now in Buffalo. And I thought it was Bobby Brown at first because I heard Brown and I didn't hear the beginning part. And I was like, wow, Bobby Brown sounds really good for all the crack he smoked. And then I found out it was Chris Brown. And I was like, that guy looks similar to my cousin, which was freaky to me.
You have a lot of cousins.
I have a lot of cousins that look like a lot of people. I look like Sean Kingston, apparently, with a beard, I've been told. Whatever. He's not relevant either. And neither are we. Amazing. And so Chris Brown started off his career, normal, kid, whatever. Then he started getting like tattoos and things like that, and that wasn't really a problem because a lot of famous people do.
He lost his mind once his music career stopped.
His music career took like a weird stoppage. After I think he did like Exclusive was the album he did, and then it took like a weird stoppage, and he was dating Rihanna, and then that's where Chris Brown, who we know today, the terrible human being, who's probably always been terrible because...
Just refer to him as Lindsay Lohan.
He's Lindsay Lohan. He's the black. He's Lindsay Lohan of the rap world or R&B or whatever he is, urban contemporary, which I'm glad he lost to Frank Ocean. We'll talk about him and Frank Ocean later. He was beating Rihanna for whatever the reason may be. Now, rumor has it she gave him herpes, which...
I could believe it.
It's not too far-fetched.
She slept with everybody from the islands to America. So
yeah. Sorry, I keep saying Rihanna. It's Rihanna.
Who gives a shit?
I like to say it that way because it bothers people because they it's Rihanna, and then you can pull up an episode of A Dose of Buckley where he explains how it's Rihanna. So he beat down Rihanna, basically turned her face into something that looks like it should be on a George Foreman grill, turned her torso into a punching bag, and then went to apparently people don't go to jail anymore if they're famous.
No,
because I remember famous people used to go to jail.
Yeah. They let him go to community service where his mother works. Okay, how does that work?
Hey, Mom, I'm just going to go over here and practice how to crump. Is it cool if you just tell them that I did work? Because that's cool.
And then I'll go put on a shirt and I'll go out there and make it look like I'm raking the leaves.
Yeah, for the cameras. Oh, the cameras are here, Mom? Let me go put on a shirt. Give me that. That was it. So... He's probably walking. He's like, give me that hat, give me that, and give me that rake. That's all he did.
And how can you tour when you're on probation and you can't leave?
Easy. The same way people go out and do movies even though they're supposed to be on house arrest.
Yeah.
It's like a perfect example of someone that beats women and gets no jail time was Floyd Mayweather. He beat his wife or baby's mama in front of his children and then also beat his children. They gave him like 3 months in prison.
Yeah.
But that's another rant for another time. Chris Brown turns Rihanna's face in a putty. And not even like the cool putty, like the bad guys from Power Rangers. Turns her face into putty. Then they break up. People hate him. He wants everyone to feel bad for him. He's like, I saw a lot of abuse as a kid, blah, blah, blah. I grew up in the ghetto. I saw a lot of abuse as a kid. I also saw a lot of people killed, but I've never killed anybody before. I've been shot at. I never thought, I'm going to go shoot those guys later. I've been stabbed. Never thought I was going to have to stab somebody. I have, but that's not the point. Then he gets on this beef with Drake, which apparently... Chris Brown can only fight people who are freaking deemed wicked. Like he beats up a woman, then he gets cracked in the face with a bottle by a Canadian, a light-skinned Canadian at that, who used to be in a wheelchair on a TV show for how many years? Really? I don't respect.
Aubrey is his name.
Yeah, one of the gayest names ever on a TV show character. But he was ready to fight him. He was on Twitter beef with him, talking garbage about him. Then that's how much of a coward
he had. Twitter beef with that kid from B2K too, with the big lips.
B2K, nobody even cares about. They haven't been relevant since You Got Served, and even still, I don't even think that movie featured all of them.
No,
it only featured like 2 or 3 of them out of the actual 5 of them. Yeah, because one of them wasn't there because Marcus Houston isn't one of them, and then he's Twitter beefing with everyone, and he's not even that good at it. And then he goes, when he Twitter beefs people, he deletes the post.
Yeah, he deletes it. And he's like, all right, I said what I need to say. Mommy, I'm gonna delete it now so I don't get in trouble.
Exactly, because he doesn't want any proof. He doesn't want any proof that he was
pussy,
that he was a chump. And then now he's moved on to beefing with Frank Ocean.
Where they do that at?
I don't know, but I know he's got some kind of beef with Frank Ocean. He just lost out on the Grammy which is a new Grammy category they just made, which is Best Urban Contemporary, which is I guess best like hip hop hybrid singer thing. It's like an R&B singer to like the next level. It's basically a best young R&B singer, and he lost to Frank Ocean, which is a great F you to Chris Brown. He came in with his stupid blonde hair, looking like Cisco. I will say this on my own personal Twitter account. I said, and on my Facebook, my personal Facebook, that I was surprised that Chris Brown lost the Grammy to.
Nobody likes Chris Brown.
I was surprised because you would think, with one's history of beating skinny black women, which is what Frank Ocean is, you would think he would be a shoo-in. You get the pun I'm making there. He beats on people he literally beats people weaker than him. So you would think that Frank Ocean, generally deemed weaker because he's skinny, you think he would have beat him in the metaphoric term. But no, he couldn't even do that. He can't win anything. He can't win the popular opinion over people. He can't beat the only person he's managed to beat so far is Rihanna.
And he can't sell out concert tickets either. Like,
no. He's become like the Charlotte Bobcats of basketball. Like, he can't sell them out, so he's just like giving. If you buy a ticket for his whole entire tour, he gives you tickets the next year, which is what the Bobcats were doing if you bought a season tickets.
What Rihanna should be doing is thanking Chris Brown because
he made her relevant.
He made her relevant
because they were both falling off the musical.
No, Rihanna never was ever on them in the beginning.
Like, no, she wasn't. She did.
She made Umbrella, and people didn't get wet anymore, and that was about it. And then people were like, okay, she got punched in the face.
Oh, she got punched in the face. So, and I don't even feel bad for her anymore because she's dating Chris Brown again.
Yeah.
They got a song called Birthday Cake together where it's about all the sex that they have. But it's like, that okay, Chris Brown already made a song. He made the song Deuces about Rihanna, and she made her little song about him. And whatever, and they had their little beef, and now they're back together. He came out with the song "Transform Ya" 2 months after they beat. Like he came out with the song
transformed her.
He transformed her into what is like someone who looks like they've boxed for at least 40 years. That's what he transformed Rihanna to. So he was like, that song should have been like, I can transform you. It should have been, I can beat on you. And then Swiss Beats could have did the beat to that. And I could beat on you. You my baby girl, so I'm going to punch you in the throat. Because that's basically what he did. That should be the chorus of the song. All that, and Lil Wayne shouldn't even been on. Lil Wayne's a whole other rant for another time with his gay self. Pretend like he's not gay.
He really is.
He's really gay.
No homo.
No homo. Anyway. Chris Brown beat up Rihanna. Couldn't beat a Canadian from Degrassi named Aubrey. Can't beat Frank Ocean in the Grammys. Chris Brown's just a scumbag. He can't beat anybody.
He couldn't even beat the system. Like, get out of here.
Couldn't even beat the system. Had to do the community. He can't beat the system because like people don't want to like put his music in.
He has to redo his community service. Like, who does that?
Oh my gosh, Chris Brown is the worst human being. If you're a fan of Chris Brown, you're probably a white girl. That's fine. I don't mind. He has good music. His music is catchy. Certain songs are good. Certain songs are good. When he first came out, he was good. I liked him, even though he had like a weird, really high pitched voice, which it just sounded odd in my head, but it was okay. If you like Chris Brown, I don't like any of his current music, but his older music. If you're a fan of Chris Brown,
find a bus and jump in front of it.
No, well, if you're a fan and you want to pretend like he never, freaking treated Rihanna like George Foreman fighting Ali, not even, because George Foreman actually stood a chance. Rihanna doesn't stand anything. She can barely stand up to drop dome on people. Anyway, she's a whore.
Yeah.
She's a lazy whore. She probably lays down to do it. Anyway, he beat Rihanna down, and that's, you can be like, oh, people make mistakes. But people that abuse women usually do it again. So.
Well, she loves the way he lies. So
yeah.
She's a crazy bitch.
Eminem for the scumbag he was, I don't think has ever beaten Kim before, even though he's written record after record about her, which is kind of annoying, but he had never at any point in time actually beat her, I don't believe. She'll probably say he did, but I don't think he did.
He never hit her with a shovel.
No. Never. I also never gave her herpes, and she never gave him herpes. So for what it's worth, even if Eminem has a more stable relationship, then you've messed up somewhere. But anyway, Chris Brown, scumbag, probably deserves to die. We spent far too much time even talking about him because I hope he fades into oblivion. But like I said, if you're a fan of Chris Brown, if you're a dedicated fanatic of Chris Brown, go kill yourself. But if you're just a fan and you like his older music and some of his new stuff, whatever. I don't have a problem with you. You can come in the comments and complain. We've already talked for too long about Chris Brown. I hate him.
Twitter beef us.
He might Twitter beef us. I don't want him to go on Twitter and be like, "Yo, Dash and Diggity sucks," and then we'll beef back at him. We're not gonna write a diss track about him because we don't. We're not gonna.
I'll comment back. I won't delete it, Chris Brown.
Yeah, we'll leave him. We'll hashtag him and everything. So, anyway, remember, if you don't like what we had to say, that's probably because we're right. I hope Chris Brown turns your face in a putty. Give me that.